Hey guys, back with another Echoing Thoughts podcast here, episode number 90. Episode number 90. Dang, I've been doing this for a long time, and this is the first time that in a while, the last couple of weeks, where felt like I've been starving for content a little bit, trying to figure out things that I can talk about, things I'm interested in. I feel like the game is in a weird spot. I'm in a weird spot as far as motivation, as far as, you know, excitement for the game. Even though I have a lot of little projects that I want to do because of what I expect to happen in the next couple months, with whether it's a new boss coming the next 6 months, whether I'm trying to get my Demon Slayer geared up in order to do Will on a second character before Arcane Gear comes out, whether Errol comes out as a new character, I'm trying to get that involved, or just trying to finish my Paladin. I got about 6 more Chaos Exalts going, and Pencilier gear, trying to get up to 350% EXP. Just a lot of different projects that I want to do, and I'm going to be honest, not a lot of funding, minimal funding, and just trying to figure out what the best route is for me. And it's kind of overwhelmed me, and I just feel like it's a little bit burnt out. But enough about me. The thing that I want to talk about, when I was thinking about starving for content, I was mainly just thinking about feedback. For a while, I've had the feedback section in Maple Discord muted because it got very toxic. I think there was a long period of time where it was just everyone asking for a rebalance, everyone just kind of throwing stuff out there, and wasn't really constructive, wasn't really helpful. And I think when I looked at it honestly this morning, I feel like it cleaned up a lot. Maybe people just don't care anymore. Maybe people just aren't, maybe they feel like feedback isn't really heard. But I've been kind of scrolling for the past week, and I feel like there's quite a bit of good feedback. And I think it's important for me to sort of shed light on this, whether the devs see it or not. I think it's cool and shows that there's people that still care and have great insight and want to improve the game, and it's not just me. So I thought I'd share some light. Some ones that I'm just going to go through maybe the last week in this Discord, because I think there was quite a bit of good stuff that I think got a lot of upvotes and should be acknowledged. So I think this was the first, kind of right here. I was looking through, first off, we got to shout out Teposaurus, the OG. I mean, he's got so much great insight. He's been posting in feedback a lot. He's an OG player that really cares. I mean, look, I think he's well respected in the game. A lot of people respect his opinion, obviously, with the amount of upvotes he gets and a lot of suggestions that he has. So I thought that it'd be awesome to kind of share his insight. So he has a lot of quality of life changes here, but I'm going to go, this is kind of the first one that we'll start here. He's got boss bounty should be, okay, yeah. So I like this one, 76 upvotes. Boss bounty should be permanent, right? Having option to earn 3 times keys per boss to choose, spending on boss accessories. I think I saw when I was scrolling through feedback, there's a lot of feedback on wanting to improve drop rates for older gear stuff. One was, I think, going back to, Tepo was the first one that I kind of saw, but it was talking about how Gloom had the first clear achievement, right? And that allowed for a ring, a drop, a medal. Amazing achievement for the first clear. Usually it's mag, 10 shards. And so he's basically saying we should see this on previous bosses with similar achievements, right? Valion actually has it for the ring drop, but then I think and it's also choice of the 3 pieces that you can get for the Ilfa ring. But for Hilla, for Magnus, this is a great way to also, help newer players, multiple people playing on multiple characters, things like that, to play the game more and get rewarded, right? I don't think it takes away from anyone who I don't think it takes anything away. These bosses are a bit outdated, right? So I think this is a great suggestion. This kind of combined with updating the achievements or just combining with the boss bounty event right here that melee suggests. I think these are great options that, or something similar to what we have right now with the after chaos, or for like Root Abyss or for Chaos Expeditions, we have those boxes after so many clears, we get some sort of reward. Those rewards are kind of, but if they could kind of incorporate that in some way, kind of a mixture of any of these three options are, I think, a huge win and a great suggestion, feedback that I think Nexon should really look towards improving, kind of mainly for those player bases that are always like a step behind, 2 steps behind, honestly, a few years behind for these content because of just the way the free-to-play progress is and things like that. So great feedback from all of them. And I think that's a great stepping stone for 2025. All right, so the next big sort of feedback discussion is really about, I think it's twofold, but it's mainly, I see even a lot of changes about, this guy's trolling, it is about TradeStation, TS, and Leon kind of says it best, right? And I wholeheartedly agree with this. TS is dead. Items are not selling. Fusing is expensive. Star Forcing is expensive. Material crafting is expensive. No new players and old players are quitting. Need a serious revamp of your forging system before end of year. And I agree, right? And I think some of the things that they've done, right? They've given out those coupons. They've given out those things like, I saw like a 50 mil coupon for forging and crafting. And I think this is kind of multi-layered, right? He's talking about the TradeStation, which I think someone recommended here, well, is that we just merge TradeStations, just multiple servers. I know that's probably very hard, but maybe when they actually merge, like in Gnosis and Scania, for example, in NA, that obviously that's going to help. Maybe just the merges of the two servers. But if not, merging the TradeStation might be a great idea, just to get more, because I'm pretty sure the economies are completely different, and it would just help to get more stuff out there. I don't know. Like I think one of the hardest things is that people just aren't, the cost of forging is hard. Like people aren't even fusing. I forget where the feedback was, but people were saying like it's not even worth it to fuse anymore, right? Because they're not making any profits off of fusing mythics. Like for Jaihin, for Utgards, that's not selling. Even like if you're doing ancient fodders or chaos fodders, it's pricey, right? It's expensive. Nothing is buying. Penciliers are hard. Like even if we have our own CDD armies, we have our own resources to use, it's still so costly and not profitable with all the RNG and all the rates and things like that. So I think that is one of the things that makes it very interesting about how they're going to address it, right? We can always have these problems that we want to improve, but having a solution is another thing, right? And I think me thinking about this, I probably have to think about it more, and I'm sure you guys have thoughts and ideas, but I think the first thing that is sort of what Tepo says here. Again, Tepo on the same page as me, we're on the same page. It's about the red meso cap. Now he goes into insight about all these specific things about increasing the cap to 1 billion and things like that. That's a big jump, and I would be all for it. But I think just the increasing it from 100 to 200 would be so impactful, right? And able to store it into your storage, or 300, because some things are costing, just a forge is over 200 mil, right? So it's like you can't even, the red mesos are only a portion of it. So I think that this is a start, right? Maybe increase red meso rates in general. Like it doesn't have to be regular mesos, just red mesos for crafting and forging, things like that would be beneficial. Or you could just lower the prices of things, right? Like hyperstats are insane. Unlocking V matrix, like it says, are insane. Leveling arcane symbols, it just like I'm not leveling some of my arcane symbols because of the crafting costs. I'm just like, for what, 90 physical attack, it is not worth it to spend 200, 300, 400 mil mesos, even with 100 mil red mesos. It's not worth it to me, right? And people are feeling the same way across the board, not just these things, but we're just forging and doing all kinds of things, just upgrading, like ranking up your items can be pricey, especially for lower tier players that have a hard time getting mesos. And even people, we have a guildie that's asking about node farming. Level 200, is it easier just to go to Starforce 180 and farm mesos instead of like trying to get your own nodes? It's just a weird economy right now that I'm sure Nexon is aware of it, devs are aware of it, and it's one of those things that it's really hard to get a correct answer. But I do think that red mesos is overdue. I do like the idea of TradeStation being merged, or having something where items become profitable again to actually use. And I would also throw out there that some crafting things like dream shards from dream belts from Lucid should be turned into chaos. Like you should be able to have the option of turning them into chaos shards to attempt on, whatever you want to do, right? So I think there are some things that they can do, but this is a multi-layered problem that I think a lot of people are bringing up as feedback, and I'm curious what you guys think about this, because obviously I don't have the answers, but it's up for discussion for sure, because I think we're all just trying to improve the game. All right, we're going to scroll through some of this, and I'll try to do this more often. I kind of like seeing feedbacks and things, and maybe every week I'll try to pick some feedback that I feel like is that I agree with. But I think we've seen a lot of this from John, the OG Devil. Boss accessories to be tradable within characters, and individual guild codes to be used on all characters. I think that's easy, right? Boss accessories kind of relate to how we talked about with how hard it is to get boss accessories. Just these are just things that we should be able to get, especially if you're trying to reroll, right? This guy Easy is saying the same thing, right? Let people reroll. Boss accessories to be tradable between characters, because there are like tradable scissors, something like that, right? Because we do have tradable accessories from bosses, like the rings, and like from Zakum, and there's the unique ones and the epic ones that we can use for ults that I've talked about using before. Those are all tradable until they're equipped, and then you can scissors those as well, which is nice. And so why not do the same thing for these, like Horntail, for Cygnus, for like Magnus, for Von Leon? Like everyone's been through it where an ult gets the drops and their main gets nothing, right? And it doesn't really, like this would just help a ton, especially for these lower tier bosses, and these lower tier daily bosses, right? And that's a start. And then hard chaos versions, difficulty drop Mesos, that'd be nice. They help people with forging. Yep, exactly. Asking if for monster cards be easier to farm and collect, all for that. Please consider making a compound day 2 boss accessories. Yep, we'll see that a lot. This is useless, Tommy says. Change to damage ignore rate. Agree, right? I don't even have this. I don't even have this maxed. I don't even have any points into this. This is useless. And I can't imagine anyone, like, if I'm at top levels not maxing this, like me, I can't imagine anyone lower than me, like having enough guild points or like needing to max this, because you can get 2% boss attack from anything nowadays, right? It's so easy from a link skill. So it feels like for the resources needed for this, the amount of give back is just, there's not worth it. Kerning Tower. Please give legendary secondary weapon, unique secondary weapon IED. I was one of the first people to say it's strange that mythic secondary weapons all of a sudden just got slapped on 4% ignore me defense, because that is nothing, right? It doesn't make sense. Like, it's so hard to get. It's not like apples where you can progress it and do bosses and do content and actually get the rewards and then get bonus off it. It's just you treasure box, or you buy one for 100 bill off a trade station with no one else to do. So yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. 2%, 1% is really not even 2%, 1% when you do the math. So why not? And then let's see. This is the last one that I think is cool. I was thinking about doing this, kind of making a list for next year, kind of on the wish list and kind of New Year's resolutions, expectations. But Karu has some great ones here that obviously I agree with all of these, right? Anvil function for MPETs. That'd be pretty sick. Opacity settings for Android. Damage skin structure for English, Chinese, Korean. Expand the area for skill timer tab to the entire screen. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Why is it only on one half, middle half? That's so strange. Shadow function for boss dungeons. Not really sure what he means by that, but that'd be cool. Whatever it is. More Kearney Tower. M Towers, maybe. If the shop gets better, for sure, I'm all for it. Mulong Dojo, same. I think that's going to be expected. It's going to be a rebound soon. Hopefully the shop gets better too. Like I'm all for like better shop rewards, getting rebalance across the board. They are so outdated. More story explanations, more V matrix slots. Level 25 hyperstats. He wants more hyperstats. I mean, instead of this one, I think maybe revamping it a little bit. Like, obviously the S tier would be ignore enemy defense. Defense ignore rate would be like a great hyperstat to have. But speed, I would take speed as another option as well. That'd be pretty sweet. EXP cap to 400. Yeah, that's probably coming. Arcane River for more assets. Yeah, that's probably gonna come too. Chaos Magus Arcarium. Yeah, that's probably remasters. Maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's 2025 end of it. All job rebalances. I don't know. Like, haven't seen too much feedback on rebalances recently, and it just feels like the game's in a good spot rebalance wise. I think I don't see them doing a huge. I mean, hopefully I'll take rebalances, more damage, free damage, but I think Nexon seems to be going in other directions and feels like they made great strides rebalance wise where classes are doing well. I mean, I've seen classes like Kana's topping the charts, right? Classes like, in my last video, Sia, Shades, people still want to see more improvements from Shades and Sia's, but they're still can be topping the charts. So I think that it's mechanics plays a huge part, bossing mechanics and character mechanics, and as well as gear, obviously. But I think the bosses are in a good space. Classes are in a good spot. Change the boss rate. Yeah. So these are all great ones. New guild dungeon, new fort, new covert. Yeah, I think covert's gonna get remastered. Guild dungeons may get remastered. Fort, if they merge. Web might be gone forever. See what they do there. But yeah, another one that I want to add, I touched on briefly, was just revamping the shops in general. Whether it's Gold Leaf, whether it's Mulong, Legends, Kearney Tower, Root Abyss, all of the above, right? Just from doing dailies, guild shop, I think there's just so many, just outdated. It just could use some revamp and something new, because like people are sitting on resources, coins, and things like that for days, maxing it out, for like Mulong and things like that, Gold Leafs. It's just, yeah. But there's a lot more feedback. Let's see. Covert, robust expand. The timer is hidden. I can make the time adjustable. Please include a list all tab rather than clicking through every single different weapon type. That'd be nice. That'd be nice for sure, MB. Please add this to everything within animation. Please also, oh yeah, do that. I killed attribute. When I click on it, I just leave the game. I'm like, oh god, I gotta go through all 7. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Luscious. Please show player the real stuff. Yeah, I mean, we already know what that is. They're not showing that. Into one. Ooh, emblem rebalances. That'd be nice. Emblem rebalance a little bit. I mean, it'd be nice, but also kind of scary if they do what they did to Flames, or do what they do to Souls, where like there's a new best in slot and you got to reroll all those emblems. So give and take, right? But yeah, never ends there. We need more GP. Or top 10, yeah. New boss, new bot here, new boss, there'd be ID source maybe, call ID hyper source, yeah. That's what I said. ID Hyperstats, I'm with you. iPad port. We have the Fire Poison Skill Ignite. Fire Poison's OP. Show wheel, yeah. They're not going to show that. I prefer Honesty Race Space, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people complaining about the Star Force enhancement chances. Yeah, it's been like that. They're not going to show that. They're just, yeah, not the biz. But great feedback. This is kind of the first time I've really scrolled through feedback in a long time. And there's some great stuff, all kind of related to the same things. So I'm curious to see like what your guys' thoughts are. What is like if they look at feedback and how they plan on adjusting it, right? This last one had a lot of quality of life. This last patch had a lot of quality of life changes and updates. So if they can incorporate, kind of improving one thing here and there, rebalancing, reworking, remastering some certain pieces of content, it's win, right? They're not going to all do it at once, but if they can kind of, and I'm sure they're trying to figure out the best ways possible, because the game is in an interesting spot. And, maybe it's just the time of the year, but it just feels like, it's the same people. And even the same people that have been playing for years are just down bad. So let me know if you like this type of content, listening to feedback, things like that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the Discord as well. I've been slacking there, to be honest. I'm trying to get more into it, get back into it. But again, I've kind of been starving for content as well. And so there may be a holiday kind of Christmas giveaway thing. Think about that. So let me know what you guys want to see in there in Discord. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And if you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join the Discord community. The Echo Clan community is growing, the best community in the game right now. And if you want to take your gameplay to the next level, improve your gameplay, do more damage, do more DPS, you definitely want to subscribe. The first 7 days are free and you're going to get full access to everything in the channel. So you definitely want to check that out. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time.